You ever meet someone and you have this instant connection and you're like, where have you been all my life? And then 2 weeks later, they go back to wherever they've been all your life.
You tell the world what happened here. What happened here? I don't know. You need to tell them.
When women say they've had an instant connection, does that mean what I think it means? Does that mean that does that mean that they did what I think they did? Is that what that means? For 2 weeks and then he left? And then he left. Lady, this is very easy to explain, and any other women that are watching, I think they usually tune out after the first minute of my videos. So I'm going to go ahead and try to capture you right here. But let's just say a guy walks into an Arby's, okay? He walks into an Arby's and he orders a roast beef sandwich. Okay. He orders this roast beef sandwich and the worker gives him the roast beef sandwich. He eats the roast beef sandwich. Is he expected to stick around the restaurant after he's gotten the roast beef sandwich and ate it? No, he's going to go back home. He's going to go home and probably get him some ice cream or something, a little treat, because they don't have that at Arby's. Okay. And also, you're in Arby's and you're kind of smelling the roast beef, and it's like, I don't know, it doesn't smell too good. And it's about to turn. The roast beef is about to turn. It's aged. It's not as good as it once was, basically. So he left. He went home. He went away and never to return, unfortunately for you. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today we have a few clips, some advice, supposedly. Some advice. Do we have advice? We might have some advice. I can't tell you the quality of the advice. I have not seen these clips. We're gonna go over them. So hit me a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it.
The fuller your life is outside of your romantic relationship, the healthier your romantic relationship will be. I'm going to say that one more time. The fuller your life is outside of your romantic relationship, the healthier your romantic relationship is going to be. You cannot expect your romantic relationship to fill all of your needs. There are going to be things that your female friends, your career, your hobbies do that your partner simply cannot for your soul. Okay? And the more you cater to your own life, the fuller and richer and healthier and happier and more in love you will be with your partner.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I'm going to go ahead and say something right now, and it might shock some of you out there. Maybe not. I agree. I definitely agree. I think a lot of times, a lot of these women have nothing else to do. They are just sitting on their ass all day, staring at the social media, and just they're so boring. A majority of the time, they have nothing going on. All they have is the man they're involved with. And look, these men are tired of it. They don't want a woman up their ass every 5 seconds. Okay, these men are trying to go out with their friends too, which they rarely can without getting guilt tripped pretty much the whole night. These men are trying to live their life. So yeah, absolutely, I can completely 100% agree that these women need to get a life. They need to find some hobbies. Which I've said in the past, I cannot tell you how many women I've met that they don't have hobbies. They don't do anything. They're just on their phone. That's their hobby. That's not a hobby. That's an addiction. Okay. That's unhealthy. Okay. Get you a hobby, collect stamps, join a bowling league, do something, like just anything at this point. So yeah, I can completely agree that these women need to do things for themselves. Now, obviously, I don't need to say that doesn't mean go out and, get your back blown out by random men behind your boyfriend's backs. Obviously, that doesn't need to be said. But with these women, you never know. You never know. That could be their new hobby, is just getting, dicked down by every random dude they meet.
Because the more we expect our partner to fill all of our needs and check all of our boxes and make sure they fill our cup every single day, the more pressure we put on them to make us happy. And I have a huge newsflash for you. It's not their job to make you happy. It's your job. So focus on your life, focus on making yourself happy so you can show up in your romantic relationship with a full, overflowing cup with so much to give. I promise it's going to make your romantic relationship healthier, and it's going to make you too more in love. I promise. Me and my husband swear by this. And once you start doing it, watch things magically evolve. I swear, it's a game changer. It's a huge game changer.
No, I'm not going to say anything about the validity of that last statement, but I will say this, and this is something that I've said several times in a lot of my previous videos, and something that I do put in my descriptions in the videos from time to time where I will say that it is no one else's responsibility to make you happy. Okay. If you're sitting there and you're looking across the table at someone, or you're looking, at someone, maybe someone you're married to, you're in a relationship with, and you're expecting that person to make you happy or to keep you happy, you're going to be very disappointed in the way your life's going to go. Okay. It is not somebody else's job to make sure you're happy. It is your job to do the things in your life that fulfill you. I have always said that men need to get hobbies. Men, you need to keep your mind busy. You need to keep your body busy. And that is the only way to stay healthy. Oh, and of course, eating a good diet, of course, too. So if you're like a lot of these women and you are chronically online, you're chronically just on Instagram Reels, you're on TikTok, you're just consuming content, you really just don't have a life out of that. And, here's the thing. If you think that your hobby is going to the gym for an hour and a half and videoing yourself and then taking that video home and editing those video clips for 5.5, 6 hours to post online, I don't think that's a hobby. I think that veers more into the addiction side of social media and getting too involved in certain things that maybe you shouldn't be involved in. Maybe you shouldn't be taking a camera into the gym. That's just my opinion. I don't want to see cameras in the gym. I don't know anybody who would want to get filmed in a gym. I think that if you're going to be a fitness influencer, stuff like that, maybe you can go to a private gym, or you can make a home gym, or you can go film somewhere that isn't out in the public. But anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole gym rant again. I've done that way too many times.
I'm a team player, so I am going to share some common icks of dating in 2025. It's trash, by the way. If you're married, just stay married. I think you're going to be better off if you just stay married. Even if you're unhappy, I just recommend staying married. Okay? It's nothing. It's trash. The dating pool is trash. 40 plus, trash. Straight downhill. But let's talk about some common icks, okay? Emotional intelligence, right? You would think whenever you start getting into the 40 plus club that there'd be some emotional intelligence. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. Not true at all. I dated a guy who literally, I felt like I was just banging my head against a wall anytime that there was conflict.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Why do these women always assume that they're going to be dating these 40-year-old men and these men are going to act a certain way? Like, I just don't understand this thought process. I mean, these men really don't have to be dating these women. So why would these men bend over backwards for them? It just does not make sense to me a lot of the times. And it'd be different if these were like supermodels with like nice bodies and, of nice figure and stuff, but it's not. It's women like this. So this isn't like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, this guy, he's in his 40s. He probably could have his pick of any, or below average in this case, woman. Yeah, he can go on Instagram and find any woman that puts on face filters, talks into a camera. Like, every woman does that. What else are you doing? Why should he do anything you say? What are you doing?
And I try and talk through it with him, and it was just like literally banging my head against the wall. I'm like, this is pointless. This is pointless. How can you be 40 whatever and lack emotional intelligence? If you had anything going for you, I would think it'd be emotional intelligence.
What? What the fuck?
Stop it. Get some help.
So when women say emotional intelligence in this context, it doesn't really mean anything. It just means this man didn't completely agree with everything she was saying and doing in the moment, so he's not emotionally intelligent. That's all this means. Whenever women say, oh, he wasn't emotionally intelligent, that just means that he didn't bend over and take it whenever she wanted him to. Oh, the man actually thought for himself and wanted to do things his own way. Oh, he's not emotionally intelligent. That's all this really means.
When you're in your 40s. No, not this guy. Second ick, someone that just agrees with everything that you say. Like, I was talking to one guy, and every single time that I would say something, he would agree with it. I don't want someone agreeing with me all the time. I want someone like pushing my buttons and calling me out and challenging my thought process.
Women.
Well, you just called that guy little emotional intelligence. So Well, how do you want this? This is why men are just calling off dating altogether, because women think this way. They don't like one. They don't know what they want. They have no idea what they want. This woman is in her 40s, by the way. She has no idea what she's looking for. Stay single. Just don't even think about it. If you think women in their 40s are bad, I mean, 30s and 20s are the same exact way. These are the same women that say that they want a nice guy. They want a guy that will be, faithful and dependable and will treat her nice and will do everything in life that she wants. And then they will go and seek out the exact opposite type of guy, the guy that, hangs out with the wrong crowd and maybe does things that might not be necessarily legal on the weekends. And then wonder why these dudes are always putting themselves in bad situations. Wonder why these dudes have 3 or 4 different women knocked up in the neighborhood. So yeah, what they say and what they do, it never lines up, does it?
Like, if I wanted someone to agree with me all the time, I don't know. Like, my kids don't even agree with me all the time. I need someone to challenge my thought process. So, 2 icks. What are your icks? What are your icks? What are your dating icks?
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
This whole video is an ick. The fact that you have kids is an ick. Why don't we take a peek at the comments and see what the audience has to say about this? You have Tate that is saying, stay single, fellas. If they can't change you, everything will be your fault. Absolutely. I can definitely agree with this. This other guy, Justin, says, new studies say people with icks have narcissistic tendencies. Interesting. You have Army Jim saying, making TikTok videos about dating, definite ick for me. Yeah, I think 100% of men would find that have an ick. That has the most likes, I think, out of all the comments. Another guy says, if this keeps happening to you, then maybe you need to look at yourself for a second. A lot of times the common denominator are these women, and they don't know why these things keep happening to them. They wonder why they keep getting put in the same situations. Well, that's the whole problem. They're not getting put in these situations. They're putting themselves in these situations. They're choosing to put themselves in these situations. A lot of decisions had to be made in order for you to be a 40-plus-year-old single mom. Do you understand how many decisions that had to be made? Multiple decisions. And now these men are making decisions and you're not happy about it? I think that's your problem. Your problem you need to deal with. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that this woman could possibly find a man somehow, maybe some guy's gullible enough to take on those burdens, I guess. Good luck. I think all the other men that she's been involved with, they've dodged a bullet, because stuff like this is completely insane to me. How you can sit there, complain about all these different men you've been letting hit since who knows how long. Because let's be real, these single moms, they have to, when they first get in relationships, they say, oh, well, these men aren't around my kids. Yeah, the men definitely don't get around the kids, but she's definitely getting around the men pretty much the first night. She will give that man everything she's got the first night to try to trap him in there. So you can almost assume that if this woman is going to record herself talking about these men, yeah, they've been shacking up. But getting on camera and saying that there's all these men out here that do not fit your standards, all the while being a overweight, over 40, hit the wall, single mom, lots of burdens, lots of trauma. You're obviously seeking therapy. Yeah. A lot of men are going to not really care what you think, and they are going to get what they can from you and possibly get as far away from you as possible. But anyway, that is the end of today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment, like the video, and if you're new, subscribe. I will catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.